Something that I wish that I thought of before I set up my first business, and something I do now when setting up businesses, is think why. Starting with why is probably the most important thing that you can question. I guess another reason why that question is pretty damn difficult to answer is because when I look at the different companies that I've set up, all of them have been set up in a different way. So we look at Patrick Henry. I was already an estate agent, so it seemed like a logical move to open up an estate agency. It's just the way it was. But to actually set up the company, the most important thing for that company was the right premises. If you ain't got the right premises of an estate agency in England or the United Kingdom, forget about it. It's pointless. I think it's especially important when you're first starting out to think, why are you setting up this business, or why do you want to set up your own business? Do you want to set up your business because you want to have a lifestyle business? You want to have a cafe that you run and you work in every day until you drop dead at the age of 90 or whatever it is? Do you want to build a business so you've got a legacy, something with your name attached to it, you can hand on to your kids maybe? Or do you want to set up a business so that you can ultimately sell it to some investors, retire, and then live on a private island for the rest of your life? The next thing is the funding. It costs a lot of money to set up an estate agency. You need to refurbish the company so it goes with your colour scheme and looks the part, especially in London where it's expensive. The rent's expensive. 30 grand is not a lot of money to spend on rent in London. So anyway, I had to refinance a property that I was developing just to get the finance to open the company. So that's a lot of debt, a lot of risk that I was in, but that's how it worked. How do you get to that stage? Before you take that first step, I think it's most important to know where the goal is. You know, you don't play football not knowing where the goal is, or where your goal is to protect. It's the same thing. You've got to have an idea of the field that you're playing in before you take that first step. Then you look at Radiance. So with Radiance, I'd never even been in a sunbed shop before we decided to open a sunbed shop. So I had to take that into account. I had to do a lot of market research. I had to think about how we're going to do it. Then I had to think about the funding. When you're a new company, getting funding for a company is expensive. If you're going down the leasing route where you have to lease 100 grand's worth of sunbeds, these leasing companies will try and charge you 20-25% per annum. 20-25% per annum. Who in their right mind would set up a company where to buy the machinery you got to spend over the course of 5 years 125% extra on the machinery? That's crazy, but that's what we did just to get the ball rolling. I wouldn't advise it, but it's what I did. Once you take a step, it's very difficult to take it back. So if you imagine a massive ship or boat, I'm going to say ship. No, I don't know the difference. One's got a motor. I'm guessing it's a ship. Okay, so the ship is going through the water. It's incredibly difficult, once that ship is set off in its direction, to turn around or to change course once it's set off. But if you plot a good course beforehand, chances are you're going to get there fast, you're going to get there with all your cargo, and it's all good. Next was Reliance, the building company. And to be honest with you, I've been wanting to do that for a long time with my partner James. But it was only really able to get off the ground because of the business that I already had with Patrick Henry. We already had building works to do. We already had stuff that we could leverage off. I was developing properties at the time, so there was work there, until it got to the point where we could take it and push it forwards. So that's a different way of starting it up. Then Reliance Health. James has been working in the health business for a long time. He'd been in the hospitals for a long time. He'd been operating, installing machinery, maintaining machinery. So it seemed like a logical step. But again, that takes a long time to get off the floor. There's no setup costs. We could have done it from my bedroom. Same as Reliance. Could have been done from my bedrooms. It's not an issue to buy a lot of machinery or to buy office space. Simple. So every company's different. Every way of setting up is different. The reason for setting up everyone is different. The main thing is, have your goals in mind. What is the outcome that you're looking for? And work backwards. No worries, of course, no worries.
Okay, perfect.
1 second, gentlemen. Got to help a damsel in distress.